All right. Welcome to Trolls Toys. Let's get into it and see what we have today. Figure reviews, toy hunts, etc. All right, YouTube. Welcome back to Trolls Treasures. This week's Toy Haul, episode 11. And on Friday, April 18th, arriving from Amazon.com, we got this Jean-Claude Van Damme action figure in his blue gi by Diamond Select Toys. I'd watched Seth Bayer pick this up in the wild. Didn't know this existed. Never seen it. So looked on Amazon and bam, there he was. So we had to add Jean-Claude. Probably going to put him with my Cobra Kai figures since they're both by Diamond Select. I think that'll work out. And if you watched last week's toy haul, you saw that I picked up Mezco Destro from That's Entertainment in Worcester. And they had some more. So I had to round up as many questionable or action figures that I wasn't attached to as I could to try to take for some trade credit, and we got a pretty substantial trade credit at That's Entertainment. Unfortunately, somebody had just traded in their entire WWE collection, which meant they weren't in need of wrestling figures, which I had a lot of, but that did mean I wasn't in need, as you'll see. But we did pick up Snake Eyes and Timber by Mezco Toys. Also as part of that trade, where I also gave them quite a bit of my actual money. But we did get like $260 in trade, so that was helpful. We got Firefly by Mezco Toys as well. And we got Storm Shadow by Mezco Toys. And this trade happened on Saturday, April 19th. You know, day one of WrestleMania. I don't know who's watching. I am. Right, for sure. So you're probably going to see that this week's toy haul is front loaded, because I also have an order that you'll see that came in today as well that we'll talk about. But we got Storm Shadow, Firefly, Snake Eyes, and last week we got Destro, all by Mezco Toys. So expensive G.I. Joes. I had to leave Flame Toy Snake Eyes there, unfortunately, for now. Maybe in the future. Also coming in from That's Entertainment, like I said, somebody traded in their entire WWE collection, and unfortunately I couldn't afford them all, but I had to cherry pick ones I wanted. As you guys know, I've mentioned it before, I'm making a Legends wall, sort of. That's about the only wrestling figures I keep in the package are the Legends. So we added Road Dogg from DX. We also got Triple H in his DX gear. We got the Ultimate Warrior Series 17 from his garb when he was in WCCW back in 1986. We got Series 12 Hot Rod Rowdy Roddy Piper. We got Series 10 Big Van Vader. Had to get it because he's got the headdress with him. Right? This figure's badass. Of course, we had to pick up my favorite heel ever, Series 9 $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. And not Legends packaging, but this, I did not have this McMahon family member represented. We have Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon, but Series 50, Shane O'Mac, Shane McMahon. I'm just going to put him on the Legends wall anyway. Hell, it's my collection. I can do what I want, right? And that's our pickups from That's Entertainment on Saturday, April 19th. All right, arriving Saturday, April 19th from Jay's Toys and Games in Iowa, and they had quite the sale going on. And then if you bought a certain amount, you got an extra 20% off of the already sale prices. So I did. So we got another big store here. So we're starting out with SummerSlam Kane, part of the Build-A-Figure series for referee John Cone. And you'll see that we actually ordered Lex Luger and The Undertaker as well, so we still need to find X-Pac, and then we'll be able to build John Cone, but you'll see those other two coming out. But we're starting out with Kane. We also picked up Greatest Hits. I guess you'd call him undashing Cody Rhodes. I think that this is when he was dashing Cody Rhodes, but he was injured and wearing the face mask. Been looking at this figure repeatedly and figured now's the time with the Battalion tier discount, they called it, which I thought was cool. Also coming in from Jay's Toys and Games, we got Undertaker, SummerSlam, part of the Build-A-Figure John Cone. Like I said, we were able to pick up Kane, Undertaker, and Lex Luger, All-American Lex Luger, so we still need to find X-Pac, and then we'll be able to build John Cone. And here's All-American Lex Luger, who I actually like better than the Ultimate that I got from Walmart. So I think I'm going to take my Ultimate back because I haven't opened him yet. But I just like this gear better. The Ultimate's kind of plain Jane. All right, from Action Force, we got this Arctic Warfare Republic Guard. Also from Jay's Toys and Games, from NECA, we got this Omni Consumer Products for the Future of Law Enforcement. This is like the battle damage RoboCop with chair. I think this is like a $70 figure or something crazy, but we got it for 28 bucks. Couldn't pass it up. Also from NECA, we got this Ultimate Creep action figure from Creep Show. Oh, this box is a little bit mashed up. I think that probably happened in shipping. I don't care. He's coming out of the box anyway. And he's not the most stellar looking figure, but I figure I gotta have him for my monsters display, like Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, so on and so forth. We got the Creep. For my Deadpool Wolverine display, we got Headpool with Logan. It's part of that battalion tier discount. So we got all these at great prices, in my opinion. For my old school Universal Monsters display, I figure we gotta have Ultimate action figure Vincent Price. Right, I've been eyeballing this one. Everybody raves about it, so now we have it. Vincent Price added to the collection. I saw this when I was doing Circle Week, making my round of those 14 targets, but it was regular price. But we got the Munsters, Ultimate Herman Munster action figure for 20 bucks. Once again, I think I'm going to put him with the old school Monsters. I know Monsters is more of a comedy, but you know, I think this is Rob Zombie's take on it as well. But I think he's looking pretty fly, looking pretty dapper. I like her, and I loved the Monsters when I was little. Used to watch it all the time. All right, also that same price point, Shambles, camera's leaning on me. From the Munsters, we got the Ultimate Count, or Grandpa Munster, as I remember him, right? And once again, saw him during the Circle Week adventures, but for full price, but for 20 bucks, I'll take him. So welcome. Those are the only two Munsters we picked up. Really the only two I'm interested in. I don't need to have them all. Herman and Grandpa, I'm good. All right, another one looks like it got a bit mashed in shipping, but once again, I'm taking her out of the box. Is Super 7 Ultimates, April O'Neil. I did not have an April O'Neil. We're going to put her in the Turtles display here. And yeah, 24 bucks. Much better than whatever, 50 or 55 or whatever she normally is. So we added April. And I got to say, I don't think the mashed boxes are Jay's fault. They got each one of them is individually packed in this bubble wrap. So I think it's maybe just a little bit rough in shipping by the vendor. I don't have any of the boys' figures. I know Starlight is the cheap one, and she was here, but I figured I can't pass her up for 12 bucks. I saw Homelander and Black Noir. That's Entertainment, but somebody beat me to them the other week. But at least we got Starlight. She'll be in waiting until we get some more of the boys' figures. But she's by NECA. Once again, 12 bucks I thought was a steal. And I also picked up Peg Warmer MJ from Spider-Man No Way Home. Since I was already spending money, I was like, well, hey, I got to get to 300 bucks to get free shipping. So MJ was 8 bucks. So I was like, all right, we can repurpose her for whatever, just because she's like it's hard to find random human figures, and that's sort of what MJ is. So we can use her somehow. And once again, to put me over that free shipping mark, I went with San Diego Comic-Con 2024 exclusive Death's Head action figure, just because I thought he looked pretty fucking badass. Not big into Marvel. I don't know what we're going to do with him, but for now, we're just going to keep him in the pack, and we'll see what happens. But that is our pickups from Jay's Toys and Games. All right, YouTube, continuing episode 11 of Trolls Treasures, this week's toy haul. On Sunday, April 20th, Easter, we stopped by after lunch at our local Walmart North Oxford and found Series 11, number 85, Will Ospreay. I posted this as a short. And then on Monday, the 21st, I actually posted what I picked up that week in my toy hunt video. So if you want to see what we picked up that day, which was a bunch of figures, please check out Toy Hunting. Huge success. All right. Also this week, we went to my local FYE, which is going out of business, and we were able to find the bald guy from Dune 2, Fade Roth Harkonnen, for $7. He was the one I did not have. Also coming in with that Fade Roth Harkonnen pickup, we picked up Marvel Knights, the Fist Ninja. I'd bought the Hand Ninja prior, not at FYE, but we've got this guy at FYE that's going out of business. I thought he would do well with my G.I. Joes to work on the Cobra Ninjas. I think he's technically a good guy, but I don't give a shit. So we're going to use him with the Joes. Arriving Tuesday, April 22nd. I found him on eBay. We were missing him. We found the others at various toy shows for the cheap. So we had Hannibal and Murdoch and Faith, but we did not have B.A. Baracus. So we ordered him off of eBay, and here he is. He's a little bit loose, obviously, because he's old, but I still think he looks badass. I remember having him when I was like 9. So, B.A. Baracus. Gonna go in the A-Team display. Arriving from Amazon on Tuesday, the 22nd. I had watched my boy Kyle Peterson on YouTube, and he talked about how he picked up this for 14 bucks on Amazon. And yeah, it was true. So I thought this Solomon Grundy figure was badass. Thanks for the tip, Kyle. But it also comes with Batman. I don't know what we'll do with that Batman figure, but the Solomon Grundy, definitely going to use him in the random badasses display. All right, on Wednesday, April 23rd, we were able to pick up Noam Dar, right, from Savers. He wasn't on camera. You will see some other figures that we picked up this week on the Toy Hunt video that's going to come out on Sunday. Obviously, I put out one on Monday because it's a special week this week. But this was off camera, so we got Noam Dar from Savers in East Providence, $6. We also picked up this Jeep from Savers for $3.50 for 3 3/4 figures. I think it's from Jurassic World or Jurassic Park, one of those. But I just thought it looked very Joe-esque. And since we found our Valor versus Venom 3 3/4 Joes that were in a bin in the basement forever because I wasn't really collecting, I just had them. I thought this might be nice to use with the Joes. Also coming in from Savers, I hope it fits the Joes, 3 3/4 Joes. I'm not quite sure, but also $3.50. We got this sort of extended cab 3500 HD Silverado. Looks like it came with an attachment when it was originally released, whatever line it's from. But I thought it might work for small Joes. I'm not quite sure. Not sure why that door is open in shambles. Hang on, door's not opening. Let me get that open. There we go. Just required a little TLC. But I think they might fit in there. Either way, I thought it was a pretty cool looking truck. And also from Savers in East Providence, and also $3.50. I don't know what the fuck is up with me and Paw Patrol and Gujitsu shit. But once again, I just thought this thing looked pretty cool because it's like it turns into a fucking hovercraft. I don't know if I can repaint it or what, but I was like, I can use it for something. I just think, and it works. And then if you hit down here, it's got like I don't know. Once again, this is like the Gujitsu thing I picked up a couple of weeks back, but here it is. And like I said, if you want to see the other figures we picked up this week, just stay tuned for the upcoming Toy Hunt video. It's from the rest of the week that we're going to put out on Sunday of what we picked up the rest of this week in our toy hunting videos and retail locations. All these were just like quick stops on lunch breaks or on the way home that you saw of this stuff. But as always, this has been Trolls Toys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.